I hope that at the end of this video, we are going to learn a lot, especially for those who want to learn. We have taken across Jordan the manna stops, and we need to simply look at a glimpse story of the book Across Jordan the manna stops. The story that we are interested to share with you today is that maybe to give you a background history of the Israelites' story, as the author draws parallel from the journey of the Israelites coming from the house of bondage to the promised land, which is called Canaan. And Abraham, being the father of all nations, promised the Israelites that they are going to flee from the captivity of King Pharaoh to the land of promise, which was full of streams flowing with abundant milk and honey, which symbolized the freedom that awaits them. And then I have to look at it and see this was a metaphor to the Israelites. Of course, yes, they are actually running from the captivity, from the bondage, but they are going to work for them to reap what they were promised in the promised land, flowing honey and milk. So Across Jordan, the manna stops is interested in reflecting on how bees work so hard to produce their sweet products, which is called honey, and how do farmers, particularly those interested and who are deep into animal husbandry, work so much hard for them to make sure that their cows, their dairy cows, produce milk. So I've taken this example of the cow and how workaholic, how assiduous and industrious a person should be for them to be able to milk the milk, to have the access to the milk. So I've just taken this from the cow. Then the next video, we delve deep into the concept of bees and how bees they actually engage themselves on for them to be able to produce their precious products called honey. So the cow, then I read, cows. Milking cows is not an easy task, which is the first aspect, and one must be prepared to face the challenges that accompany the process of harvesting this precious resource. To truly appreciate the journey from cow to milk, it's important to understand the various aspects of cow management and milking. No matter how much energy the person who inspired us that there is going to be milk in the land of freedom, which is Canaan, we also need to notwithstand the fact that there is a process that a person undergoes for them to have milk in their bucket. The dung. First and foremost, we must consider the dung produced by cows. While it is a natural byproduct and can even serve as a fertilizer, it carries a distinctive smell. One, if you mismanage your movements in the crowd, a pen or an enclosure for livestock, and accidentally step in it, you may find yourself in a slippery situation. Milking is a delicate act. If you spill the milk, it can be nearly impossible to retrieve. The environment in which you milk the cow can also be dirty, posing the risk that if the cow jumps or shifts unexpectedly, the milk can be spilled or contaminated. This scenario serves as a poignant reminder that a good life does not come easily. The easy life is not reserved for the cowardly or those who merely bask in the sun. It is for those who are willing to put in the labor necessary to reap the reward. That is one of the most beautiful aspects that we all need to consider whenever we think of harvesting milk, the dung, the smell it produces, the slippery scenario that it creates, and the situation that if the cow is still a learner and have never actually given birth to any calf before, you are likely to have challenges in making it a reality to have the milk in your bucket. Therefore, you need to calm it down first, then you can harvest the milk. So the process is not easy. Therefore, across Jordan, where hand flows in streams and milk in streams, there must be a process that one has to appreciate before you step into that land of freedom. Another thing that we also need to consider when we think of having milk in our buckets across Jordan is the challenge that we often face when we want to just milk that. Cows have horns. Cows also possesses horns that can strike out at anyone who approaches, particularly those intending to touch their udders or milk them. Which means if a cow is still a learner and has not given birth before to a calf, you have also need to go through this process of making it calm. And the time for adaptation requires someone's dedication, resilience, patience, and commitment to make sure that you have the milk in your bucket. To simply touch its udders is something that requires resilience and patience. This serves as a crucial reminder for those who have been promised the milk of prosperity. One must be cautious and aware of potential obstacles before crossing their own river Jordan. The horns could symbolize the negative words or discouragement from others in your new marriage or at a new job. To successfully navigate this situation, it is essential to be bold and take control of the situation. Bring forth the ropes of your determination and tie down both the horns and the legs before you bend to milk the cow. Legs. Cows have legs that can kick unpredictably, posing yet another risk to anyone attempting to harvest the milk. This further emphasizes that the journey to obtaining milk is not a light-hearted game. It requires a strong courage, skill, and commitment. Only those willing to face the challenges head-on will be able to enjoy the most nutritious food that comes from these wonderful animals. The message here is directed towards those who have been promised to inherit a kingdom abundant in wealth, a kingdom filled with the nourishing milk of opportunity. Remember that this is how milk comes to the bucket. Approach your dreams with vigilance and determination, because while the promise of abundance may be enticing, the path to achieving it is fraught with challenges that must be overcome. You must be prepared to embrace the journey, understanding that true success comes to those who work for it and remain committed to their goals. Watch out for that which lies ahead and prepare yourself to harvest the reward of your labor. This is Across Jordan. The manna stops.